Hey guys, what is up? We're back with another week of the glorious Jujutsu Kaisen Season 3, and what a phenomenal 1 hour, basically a 2 hour special, opening up the third season after the events of the Shibuya arc, bunch of catastrophe and everything. And now everyone has to deal with the fact that Gojo is not in the picture, and that the fake Geto is plotting something that's going to rope them and several others into this mess. Obviously, without Gojo's protection, several people that was supposed to be protected, aka our main character Yuji Todori, his execution was back on the block. And Yuta, the original MC, was sent out to take him out. Of course, he was faking it because Gojo already knew beforehand. He had an inkling that something bad may happen, and he's not going to be there to protect any of them. So he sent out his first pupil to protect his second pupil, or the second MC. And he faked Yuji's death. This must be like what, the second or third death for Yuji in the entire series. And again, the Shibuya arc definitely left a massive scar on him, figuratively and literally. And my boy is going to go through it. Definitely he is going to go through it, more so mentally in this season. So they all finally met Tengen, and they're going to be doing a little bit of talking in this episode. So not much action is going to be happening, but do take note, because anything they talk about in this episode is going to affect the story from now on heavily. So without further ado, let's get into Jujutsu Kaisen Season 3, Episode 3. Mm-hmm. Mm. When did they meet? And that's his real name, not fake Geto, Kenchaku. Mm. No, it was Rico. Rico. Why? Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Now I get it. Okay. Makes the events that happen in the manga a lot more sense. Okay. Right. Oh. 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 Oh, wow. Tengen can't. He could be manipulated by it. Yeah. 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 Mm. Mm. Yep. That's it. Oh. Told you. Yep. Yep. He was the anomaly. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. You gotta blame Toji for everything that's happening right now. I'm sorry. Yeah. Mm. Must approve. Mm. You guys have no choice but to play. Additional rule. Mm. Oh. So how do you get it? Oh. Oh no. Yeah, Gojo destroyed that during the Zero. Yeah. He destroyed them. Toji really scarred this man. He scarred this man. That's why. Hmm. Okay. Mm. Kind of ferry them to the other side may sound direct. Oh, okay. Mm. Yeah. Anchor. And with the alcohol, Jesus. Mm. Yeah. Actually, I didn't know who was the, as they say, the game master. Okay. Initial point value assigned to them players may negotiate. They may game master add additional ruling to the culling game. Okay. Approve any additional rules under the rule, except when the rule significantly. Okay. Okay. And that show up and change points within 19 days. Will be stripped. Oh, okay. Yeah, they want to keep their stuff because Gojo ain't there to keep check. You see, Yuta, you're such a sweet guy. Yeah, recruit him. Y'all gonna need him. Dang. Yeah. Oh man. Oh. Oh, this reminds me of Junpei. Oh god. Dang. I didn't know he had it that rough. Dang. Oh, failing come here. I didn't even know it was that rough for him at first. Not you telling him he needs. You're the reason why. Oh my god. Okay, like I said, this episode was mainly all the information that we needed about the Culling games, and basically, to summarize it, Toji was the anomaly that was not meant to happen, given the fact the man is just like Maki, heavily restriction, and by him interfering during the time where Tengen was supposed to assimilate with the Star Plasm, person who is Rico, Amanai, all those years ago during the time where Gojo, Geto, and Shoko were all students of Jujutsu High. And originally, as Tengen says, a Six Eyes user, there can't be two, simply because of the history and the closeness, because once one is born, more likely a star plasm vessel is also born as well. So whenever one is appearing, the other one has to follow right after. And in order to continue with the strength of the barrier that keeps regular society separated from Jujutsu society, to protect humans from them knowing of such things, and also because Tengen resides in Japan, this is to keep from all the curses spreading out throughout the world. It's not to say curses aren't in the world. Remember, curses are manifested due to negative feelings and or thoughts. But the cultivation of curses mainly resides in Japan due to Tengen and its barrier. Tengen obviously was, if you can tell from this, but just to give you a little more insight, Tengen was originally a human. And if you saw online, or if you haven't, Tengen was originally a woman. And as Tengen was stating, that Tengen originally had an identity of their own once they assimilate with the Star Plasm vessel. So in other words, Tengen could have, if they assimilated with Rico 12 years prior to the current storyline, Tengen could have possibly looked like Rico, but with all the knowledge of Jujutsu sorcery and basically the world. But as Tengen states, because of that, they still will live for a very long time, but they will start to show physical age. And because Kenjaku, not fake Gento, not fake Noritoshi, but Kenjaku has been around for over 1,000 years, plotting, because the whole point of Kenjaku conducting the Culling Games is to bring back civilization to a point of superior sorcery. That's the whole point of Culling games. So while I'm watching this episode and they're breaking it down, I mean, no correlation, but Dragon Ball Z during the Buu saga, and how in order to manifest Majin Buu, they had to have fighters by duking it out, and their energy was sent, and Buu was absorbing all of that energy in order to hatch and come about. And then you know how the rest of that happened. So that's the whole point of Culling games. Now, once you have entered, or Tengen deemed you worthy of becoming a player, again, 19 days from the start, which was basically October 31st, because in order to enact Culling games, Gojo had to be sealed. Because obviously if Gojo was not sealed, the Culling games could not have started. And of course, Kenjaku could not, it's not the game master. So all he can do is employ the rules and be a bystander to all of this. And he made the rules so meticulous that while there is very little leniency, at the same time, it's survival of the fittest, or Darwinism. So it's basically what Kenjaku's trying to do is try to weed out those who are most fit for this new world of sorcery. And of course, by absorbing Tengen, who is now more closer to that of a cursed spirit, because that's why Kenjaku absorbed Mahito. Mahito knows how to do idol transfiguration, so by absorbing Mahito, and also because he took over Geto's body, who manipulates cursed spirits, Tengen, who if was originally supposed to assimilate with Riko, would not be in this problem. More than likely, Tengen would have been more powerful enough to back off, make Kenjaku back off and not touch them. But Toji is... You blame Toji. And then also you gotta blame... I mean, you can't even really blame Gojo, because my man's was on the brink of death, if not really did die, after Toji did initially kill him the first time. And because on that brink of death, he learned curse energy, like the true meaning of curse energy, learned RCT, or reverse curse technique, and everything. End up learning how to really utilize infinity and using hollow purple and such. And in his trauma response, the same thing that breached his infinity the first time, the sphere, then he saw, remember in volume 0 or movie 0, when he was fighting against Miguel, and how it did cut through his infinity. It reminded him of Toji, hence why he pieced up Miguel and destroyed the black rope. So it's understandable that the characters are like, why would he do that? Well, if you knew what happened 12 years prior, you would understand why he went out of his way to destroy these two items that technically would free him in time for all of this mess to stop. But in terms of the rules, luckily this episode did go over them one by one, mainly the 1 to 8, which is very pivotal. So more so, obviously we know players have to score up to 100 in order to exit out of the Culling games. And usually, and when we have sorcerers, so those who are already born with curse energy using curse techniques, they're worth 5 points. Non-sorcerers originally, and probably just got the curse energy and such, they're worth 1 point. More so, non-sorcerers are able, for one time only, to get in and out if they don't want to participate. But the backlash for that is those who don't basically submit by the 19th of November, they die. Basically, to put it in the most simplest way possible, brain damage. Nothing that physically changes on the outside part of the body, but more so in hair. And it's probably like a silent killer. They least expect it. And then obviously, there's going to be way more players in here. And as we clearly saw, Angel, I'm not going to get too much into it, but you can expect more characters like Angel to be in the Culling games. Not exactly of what they do, but in the sense of, how should I say it? Like, they're older characters. You know, you're gonna see them here. So it's a lot of different sets of people that's going to be forced into this game. And as they said, the only way Culling games can end is either everybody dies or everybody rejects the game. And of course, the latter is not going to happen. There's going to be people that's going to, because why? I can do what I want to other people. There are sick-minded people. So yeah, Culling games will commence, and even if they were to take out Kenjaku, the Culling games wouldn't end simply because of the two outcomes I just mentioned just now. But definitely I'm grateful for this episode because again, I didn't really read this portion of the manga, so I'm glad for it because it makes what I saw later on make a whole lot more sense for me. Ow. Ow. That was he fell. Whatever. That's a foreshadowing. I would have to say that was a foreshadowing. That was a foreshadowing, all right? But yeah, I definitely messed heavy with this episode. So obviously, for now, we're gonna have Yuta who enters into the colonies. Currently, he's going to enter in first, get information. Maki is going back to her family to get some cursed tools, and Yuji and Megami are going to look for my mans. Let me tell you this. Anime onlys, you're not ready for Hakari. Oh, I love him. I love this guy, okay? I truly love this guy. And obviously, this is not the first time he was mentioned. He was mentioned all the way back in season 1. And this was just shortly, was after Yuji's death. And this is during the time where like the first years and second years of the Tokyo school were training, getting ready for the sister school act between Tokyo and Kyoko. And that's when they mentioned him as well as Yuta. So that was all the way back in season 1. So you're going to fully see him in this season where he's going to make his actual appearance. Again, I would say stay tuned for that because the guy's amazing. He's truly amazing. But yeah, a lot of rules. I'm gonna keep rereading the rules on my own because obviously there is chances that new rules could be added depending on the player and what they negotiate in terms of adding or taking out rules. But nonetheless, guys, do tell me in the comment section below on how you felt about this week's episode of Jujutsu Kaisen Season 3, Episode 3. If you already read the manga version of this episode, of course, nothing further than that. But do tell me in the comment section below on how you felt about this episode versus the manga. Do you think they were a little bit more clear in this? And I'm going to guess that visually wise, obviously there was visual liberties with the anime version versus the manga, but do tell me how you felt about this episode. Anime onlys, I know it was like info dump in this episode, but are you a little bit more clear now about what's going to commence for the remaining of this season and what we're getting into shortly? And of course, if you saw the ending of the episode, we see what's going to happen with Maki and her family. So yeah, definitely next week's episode is going to be high intensity action, which I cannot wait for because again, I didn't really read that part. So yeah, little bit, but not too much. The links are in the description box. You guys go check it out. And I'm Kimmy-chan, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.